May 1845. Two ships sailed from England. Their mission was historic. Their crews were confident. Their supplies were enormous. And their destination was one of the most dangerous places on Earth, the Arctic. The expedition's goal seemed simple. Find the Northwest Passage, a sea route connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. For centuries, explorers had searched for it. Most failed. Some never returned. Then came Sir John Franklin, a celebrated naval officer, an experienced explorer, a national hero. He commanded two ships, the HMS Erebus and the HMS Terror. The names now seem almost prophetic, because what followed became one of history's greatest mysteries. An entire expedition vanished. 129 men disappeared into the ice, and for more than a century, nobody knew what happened to them. The expedition departed England with enormous expectations. The ships were considered advanced. They carried steam engines, reinforced hulls, thousands of books, scientific equipment, and enough food to last several years. The crews were highly trained. Many believed success was inevitable. As the ships traveled north, they stopped in Greenland. This would become their final confirmed contact with civilization. Whaling ships saw them. The crews appeared healthy. Spirits seemed high. Nobody imagined it would be the last time they were seen alive. Then the Arctic swallowed them. Months passed, then years. No word arrived, no letters, no reports, nothing. At first, Britain remained patient. Arctic expeditions often took time, but eventually, concern turned into alarm, then panic. By 1848, search missions began, one after another. The British government launched an enormous effort. The search became one of the largest rescue operations of the 19th century. Dozens of expeditions entered the Arctic. Ships searched frozen channels. Sled teams crossed deadly landscapes. Investigators questioned indigenous communities. Still, nothing. Then came the first clue. Inuit hunters reported seeing white men, weak, starving, dragging boats across the ice. Some were said to have fallen and died. Others continued walking, toward nowhere. The stories were disturbing, but many officials initially ignored them. They could not believe such an organized expedition had collapsed so completely. Then another clue emerged. Abandoned camps, scattered equipment, human remains. The mystery deepened. Finally, in 1859, a search team made a shocking discovery. A written note, hidden inside a cairn. The message revealed the expedition's fate. The ships had become trapped in ice, not for weeks, not for months, for years. Sir John Franklin was dead. 24 officers and men had already perished. The surviving crew had abandoned both ships. 105 men remained, and they were attempting the impossible: to walk south, across hundreds of kilometers of Arctic wilderness. The note ended there. No further explanation, no final message, no record of what happened next. Only silence. The discoveries became even darker. Human skeletons appeared. Bones were scattered across the landscape. Some bore strange marks, cut marks, knife marks. Scientists eventually reached a disturbing conclusion: cannibalism. The men had become desperate, starving, dying. And in their final days, some had eaten the dead. The revelation shocked Victorian Britain. The idea seemed impossible, unthinkable. Many refused to accept it, yet the evidence kept growing. The Arctic had preserved the truth. Then another mystery emerged. Why had the expedition failed at all? The ships carried years of supplies. The crews were experienced. What went wrong? Theories exploded. One possibility was lead poisoning. The expedition's food had been stored in thousands of tin cans. Many were poorly sealed. Some contained high levels of lead. Researchers discovered elevated lead levels in the remains. Lead poisoning can cause confusion, weakness, mental decline, poor decision-making. Could it have doomed the expedition? Possibly, but not everyone agrees. Then came another theory: scurvy, vitamin deficiencies, pneumonia, tuberculosis. Perhaps disease slowly destroyed the crews. Again, possible. Yet there was another enemy, the Arctic itself. Temperatures could fall below -40 degrees Celsius. The ice shifted constantly. The darkness lasted for months. The landscape was unforgiving. One mistake could become fatal, and the Franklin expedition made several. One question has always puzzled historians: why did the men abandon the ships? This decision remains controversial because the vessels contained supplies, shelter, protection. Yet the crews chose to walk, dragging heavy boats across the ice. The loads were enormous. Some contained books, silverware, personal belongings, items of little survival value. Why carry them? Were the men already suffering cognitive impairment? Were they confused? Or did they still believe rescue was possible? Nobody knows. Then came one of the most astonishing discoveries. For more than a century, the ships themselves remained missing. Many believed they would never be found. Then, everything changed. In 2014, researchers discovered the HMS Erebus, perfectly preserved beneath Arctic waters. 2 years later, they found the HMS Terror. The discovery shocked the world. The vessels were in remarkable condition. Cabins remained intact. Artifacts remained inside. The Arctic had protected them, like time capsules. Yet even these discoveries created new mysteries. The locations of the ships were unexpected. They had drifted, or perhaps been sailed. Some evidence suggested crew members survived longer than previously believed. Perhaps much longer. The final chapter remained unclear, and perhaps always will, because mysteries survive when evidence is incomplete. The Franklin expedition became more than a failed voyage. It became a symbol of ambition, of exploration, and of humanity's struggle against nature. 129 men left England, seeking glory, seeking discovery. Instead, they entered legend. Their leader died in the ice. Their ships vanished. Their crews disappeared. And their final days became one of history's most haunting stories. Because somewhere in the frozen Arctic, men once marched across endless snow, hungry, exhausted, desperate, dragging boats toward a horizon they would never reach. No rescue came, no escape existed, only ice, silence, and death. The ships have now been found. Many clues have been uncovered, yet the greatest mystery remains. What truly happened during those final months? How did one of the greatest expeditions of the 19th century collapse so completely? And what thoughts filled the minds of the last survivors as they walked into the endless white darkness, never to be seen again?